Hello and welcome to your Empowered Astrology forecast with yours truly, Sarah McCallum, the Cosmic Finder. And this is for the week of November the 6th, 2023. This week, the moon is going to be waning. It is making its way over the course of the week to a new moon phase that will begin next week. So look for the moon in the sky and you can follow along as it gradually begins to decrease in light into those beautiful crescents and making its way to the new moon phase. So this week we have two planets changing signs. And when that happens, oftentimes we feel those shifts just as we do when the sun moves into a different sign, just as we do as the moon changes signs every 2 days or so. And the two planets that are highlighted this week that are changing signs are Venus and Mercury. So on the 8th of November, we will have Venus moving into Libra. And Venus is at home in Libra. Venus natally rules both Taurus as well as Libra. And in that Libra sense, it is so much about what we find aesthetically pleasing, how it is that we appreciate being loved on and adored by others in our relationships. It's so much about harmony and balance. And so as it shifts out of Virgo into Libra, we all may be more focused on our relationship dynamics, feeling into whether or not they feel balanced, and also tapping into our environment and really starting to recognize whether or not we feel that our home is in balance or our workspace is harmonious, and then making adjustments as need be. And because Venus will be in Libra, those adjustments may be, gentler, more pleasant, really focused on, how you're being received by the other than perhaps when Venus was in Virgo, which is much more highly analytical. So hopefully this will feel like a welcome shift. Again, it really does depend upon your own natal chart and your own natal Venus, but it will be a more, balanced, refined Venus. And also there is that tendency as well to lean into like the codependency and giving your power away. So just pay attention and watch out for any of those types of responses to this planetary shift. So Mercury will shift into Sagittarius on the 9th, the day after Venus changes signs. So Mercury moving into Sagittarius is very explorative. It's very mentally expansive. So we're looking at like big thoughts. We're looking at idealistic mental patterning, really like envisioning big picture, envisioning your lofty goals, your dreams, and, allowing some of that like Scorpio energy of the season to come into play here too, where you keep it in a realistic viewpoint. Sagittarius unskillfully can really be dreaming so big that sometimes it is impossible to reach said dream. So allow yourself to feel into that shift. Mercury coming out of Scorpio, where it was very penetrating, perhaps a little obsessive, and moving into Sagittarius, where it's now not only fiery, so you may respond really quickly or be reactive, but it is also mutable. So there can be some flexibility and adaptability in your thought patterns and the way in which you communicate with others. All right, so at the beginning of the week, we will have a trine between Pluto and Venus. perhaps this gives a little bit of flow or ease to your healing process in regards to feeling worthy of the transformation, feeling like you are open to receiving whatever healing is coming your way. We've also got a trine that same day between Mercury and Neptune. So there can be like an ease or fluidity between the mental body and the spiritual body. Perhaps your dreams are very prophetic, or, there is a lot alive for you in the fantasy world or the imaginative realms. Lots of thoughts around compassion for humanity. Really beautiful energy there for loving on your neighbor, your community member, your family, etc. All right, and then on Wednesday the 8th, we have a sextile between Mercury and Pluto. So there can be some flow here between the mind and your ability to really envision the ways in which you regenerate or transform. So really allow yourself to tap into, some mental states through meditation, or perhaps even channeled writing that help you to really embody your healing journey. And then on the 10th, towards the end of the week, there will be a square between Mercury and Saturn, tension between the mind and limitations or roadblocks ahead of you. Perhaps there is a tendency here to recognize where your thought processes are actually holding you back and contributing to the challenges. So also with Mercury, it is governing like short trips here and there. So just be really mindful of safety and presence when you're journeying out into the world on Friday. And then on Saturday, the 11th, there will be an opposition between Mars and Uranus. This is very much a push-pull energy between your ability to act and sudden outbursts or sudden changes. So again, like Mars can be very aggressive. Uranus can be that energy that wakes us up to the truth. There can be a lot of like explosive types of, responses or reactions with this opposition. So take things one step at a time this weekend, and just be mindful of your actions, your physicality, and how you're carrying out your tasks for that day. All right, so that is what I have for you this week. I do want to mention that, astrologically, Samhain really begins early on this week on the 7th. So that is something also to start to tap into to create your altar, for Samhain, and, tapping into your animal guides, tapping into your ancestors, and taking time to really like have a solid foundation for the beginning of this next turning of the wheel. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I'll be on to talk with you again soon.